Now, before you guys go slandering me in the comment section and everything, you have to hear me out first. But what it do, YouTube? It's your boy ColtsTalk. We're back with another video. Today is going to be a controversial one, of course, due to the title and everything that's going on with the Colts. But you got to hear me out first, right? So when I say that Jonathan Taylor isn't the answer for the Colts, I'm not saying that he, is bad or he's too good for this team or something like that. It's just that we're not going to really make it to the Super Bowl with just Jonathan Taylor. That is my point. We're not going to make it to the Super Bowl with just Jonathan Taylor. Maybe he's too good for us. Maybe that's the case. He did emerge on the scene his rookie year, and he had a way better second year than he did his first year. But we all knew that was coming in my video that I made last year. I said that he was going to have a better second season. He wouldn't have a sophomore slump. And the fact that Derrick Henry went out and he still was having one of the best games of his career, he happened to be the best running back in the NFL, even though Derrick Henry was out. But we still know who the best running back is. It is Derrick Henry, no questions. But, I mean, Jonathan Taylor was amazing this season. He flat out was amazing. And it's not taken away from his game and what he did. But I think if the Colts want to take another step and pretty much trying to be a playoff contender, we're going to need a solid offense and a solid defense. And when I say solid defense, that means that we can't, have the same issues of blown coverages, soft coverages on third down. The third downs was terrible this year. We staked on third down. Every time it was every time we reached the third down mark, even if it was third and long, I knew that the opposing team was going to get a first down because of the soft coverages we just love to play. Like, you can take away games like the Tampa Bay game, the Rams game, the Seahawks game, all these games when we could have won, even the Ravens game when we had a lead and blew it. All those games when we had a lead and literally lost it due to our defensive soft coverages. And the next point I'm going to get to, which is the offense. In order for Jonathan Taylor to be the answer, truly, we would have to have a solid offense. It can't just be run the football to Jonathan Taylor. That's not going to work in today's NFL. That is so one-dimensional. And all these teams have multiple threats where you can do and you just catch them off edge. You can't just go into an NFL game thinking Jonathan Taylor is going to win you the game point blank, period. Now, of course, you're going to have those keyboard typers in my comment section talking about, well, look at those games where Jonathan Taylor exploded for those 60-yard runs and plus and more. All those games was due to him and nobody else. Well, of course. But if you actually did watch the game, you would notice that the defense had a very good presence in the game. And then also that Carson Wentz wasn't throwing away the game. Even though Carson Wentz wasn't perfect, he still had some games where it made defenses look off edge. And then Jonathan Taylor would just explode out of nowhere. You even seen it on Hard Knocks or that clip that shows up every now and then on your Colts Twitter when Quentin Nelson said, if you give the ball to Jonathan Taylor here, he's going to explode. Just trust me. That play right there, that moment. Of course, Coach Frank Reich has a trust big Q because he's the one blocking for Jonathan Taylor. But literally, when all things came aside, he literally put his faith in Jonathan Taylor to make the play because he knew he was going to explode. That has nothing to do with, well, we should have did that all season. Because it wasn't working like that all season. Of course, he exploded everything, but you have to have a balanced offense. In today's NFL, you have to have a balanced offense. It can't just be run the football, run the football, run the football. The prime example is the Tennessee Titans. You can't just have Derrick Henry and expect to go to the Super Bowl. You have to have a balanced offense. There's a lot of Titans fans that don't want Ryan Tannehill back next season due to what you've seen this year. And this year literally showed if your best running back, your top talent, your go-to guy, if he goes out, what are you going to do on offense? That's the question that the Colts have to ask themselves. If Jonathan Taylor is being a workhorse and something happens to happen to him, what's going to be left for this offense? And that's how most teams beat the Colts this year. Of course, they beat us by, torching our defense. But most of them defenses that we went up against, they knew the ball was going to go to Jonathan Taylor. The quarterback production was terrible this year. Of course, he had his moments. The Christmas game, we get it. But unless we don't have a consistent quarterback, we are going to continue to struggle. That's why I said Jonathan Taylor is not the answer. Because we need a quarterback that's going to be consistent enough to balance the offense. Simple as that. Now, you guys may bring up Frank Reich and his gameplay, but we still need a quarterback to go out there and thread the needle when it has to be done. All of these teams that you're seeing that has success has a very balanced offense, and they do not have the number one running back on their team. The Cincinnati Bengals is a walking example. Joe Mixon is amazing. He's been there forever. Joe Mixon is a very good running back. Is he Jonathan Taylor? No. But they do have Joe Burrow, who's a quarterback who just came off of an injury and happened to will them to the playoff, to will them to the Super Bowl. He willed them to the Super Bowl. And everybody in the NFL and who watches knows that Bengals defense is not great. But they have a balanced offense. They have a number one wide receiver that they drafted. Their offensive line is even terrible. Do the comparisons. Our offensive line is just as bad. But the quarterback just shows you no matter how many times he gets sacked, he can go out there and still make a play. If that's not a walking example, I don't know what else to tell you. The Kansas City Chiefs, known for bad defenses. They do not have Jonathan Taylor at running back. They drafted one. They have backups, pretty much second string running backs as their starters. But they have a good quarterback in Patrick Mahomes. They got threats in Kelsey, Hill, and so forth. They had Sammy Watkins back in the day. But, they got guys like McCole Hardman. All of these plug-in players, you do not have to have the number one running back to be your answer for success. You just don't. Tom Brady has done it multiple years without having the star running back be the reason. They can just plug in anybody, have the quarterback balance out the game, and pretty much throw the football to all of these targets, and the running back do the rest of the damage because the defense doesn't know what's going to happen next. That's just my explanation of Jonathan Taylor not being the answer. Simple as that. Now, I would love for him to be that guy, but if we did have Nyheim Hines used more or utilized in our offenses, then I wouldn't have made this video. Our quarterback has some type of talent. We still need more threats at the wide receiver position. We need a go-to tight end. We need to use Nyheim Hines more, and then we will start to see more success than what we're supposed to. We missed the playoffs on one game. We all get that. One game is a disaster. We know. But if we had a balanced offense, like I'm telling you, if we had a balanced offense, we would be in the playoffs. We would have been in the playoffs. We probably could have beat the Bengals. We probably could have been in the Super Bowl right now. We probably could have been in the Super Bowl if we had a balanced offense and if our defense didn't lay eggs. Simple as that. If we didn't have soft coverages and we had a balanced offense, we probably would have been in the Super Bowl. This would have been our year. It's unfortunate, but all of the circumstances that we had two quarterbacks retire, and now we're stuck with Carson Wentz. We're praying for him to have a better second season. We understand that. But like I said, if we had the quarterback to push the needle and to throw the football and balance the game out with Jonathan Taylor, we probably would have been in the Super Bowl. Simple as that. There's teams in the Super Bowl right now with terrible defenses. So what's our excuse? Jonathan Taylor tried to do it by himself. Not the answer. Get you a quarterback that can balance the offense and get some targets, and then we can have a conversation. But you guys let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section. This is Marcus, and until next time, you've been Culture Shock.